Welcome back to Webcertain TV. I'm Jaume Marin. Today I'm joined by Jaume Marin, who is the Marketing Director for Costa Brava Tourist Board, and we're going to be talking about content marketing for international audiences. Hi, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks very much to you.
So, I know that content creation, the use of content is very important as part of your marketing strategy. Why is that? Why do you focus so much on content?
We decided to follow this strategy now 6 years ago because we found that all the content that we publish and all that, and from as a public DMO, was not as much as trust and reliable as content from bloggers or travel bloggers or influencers and all that. So we start following this strategy of trying to get all our content generated by third parties. So we started coming in Costa Brava bloggers, travel bloggers, and then more specific content creators about mommy bloggers, about wine experts and all that. So our content is generated for these people that has got two advantages. One, that is reliable and trust content, and the second, that they got a huge audience normally, an audience that they trust them and they follow them, so they have a good reputation and they trust what they believe.
Yeah, so you're going right to the people that have that audience that you want to reach, which is obviously a more effective way than trying to bring that audience to you in the first place.
Yes, and as well more reliable in the content that we produce. So for us in a DMO, it's very difficult. If you ask me now, what hotel do you recommend me, or what restaurant? For me, it's like almost impossible to say as an official body.
Yeah.
But someone else can tell you, which is, if you go there, don't miss this spot, or don't miss this hotel, or don't miss this. So this will be trying to be more useful and more trustful to our audience. So it's the way we try to work.
And how do you then work on developing the relationships with these? How do you identify who it is you'd like to write about your region, and how do you kind of build that relationship?
This is a very good question, and it's not an easy one, because this is the key point. How do you identify your influencers or your content creators? Mm-hmm. This works in different ways. The first way, we try to first read a lot of blogs, and always read, but not only read the important ones or the ones that have a big audience, but we look for engagement of their audience as well. And second, we go to all the congresses, all the travel blogger congresses, TVX, ESTS, and all this. We go there, so we meet people. Yeah. And then, we, as you know probably, we organized twice TVX in Girona and Lloret de Mar. So we brought the first time 300 bloggers, and they were over 800 bloggers second time. So more than in the last 4 years, more than 1,000 bloggers has come to our area.
So you need to, find them in the first place, but then really encourage them, give them the opportunity to come and experience it so that they can then write about it.
Yes, and it's not a magic formula, so it's nothing like, we're going to choose this one and it's going to be right at the beginning. No, it's just test, and try, and sometimes we guess it right, and sometimes we guess wrong, and we learn from it. But we have done a lot of things, and now we know more or less what is in the market, talking like this, and we know who is going to be relevant and all that.
So it's not a quick win strategy, this. It's something that does take time. You need to work at it over time to hone, I guess, to start to learn and to understand what's going to work best. It's not something you can do overnight.
The important thing is you have to be very consistent in what you do. And this is part of our strategy. It's not like a trend. It's not like a fashion thing, and it's not because everybody does, I'll do it, which happens, I see nowadays in quite a lot of DMOs. It's not something that we believe, and we believe that this is the path that we have to follow. So it's a consistent strategy. We started for general bloggers. We went more for specified targets, like the parents blogging, which we have a very good association here in UK. But we went to wine. We have done things with golf. So we have to be very specific. And sometimes it's not only about the audience, because as specific you go, the smaller the audience. Yeah. But sometimes it's about how they engage and what the authority they have, these content creators, about their audience.
And how do you make the most of this content? So if all these bloggers write about your content, and how do you get the most out of it to make sure that it has the best impact for the brand and the area?
Here there's two lines of work. The first line is that, it's good when they publish it in their own channels, and it's not like only sponsorized content, because it's not the idea. Yeah. And the second is that we try to get most of these contents now in our social web. Now we have one social web in our website, which is called In Your Eyes, so it's seen as they see it in their post, but our next step, which is next year, fingers crossed, and it's going to be a completely social web. So this we're going to integrate different content from different bloggers, but the different social sites as well, and that's why we try to get some agreements out of it.
And obviously that's the next step really to look at. There's one thing getting content from bloggers and influencers, but there's also kind of user-generated content from just people who come there on holiday, the end user who's experienced a hotel or a restaurant. How important is that content for travel organisations? How much do people looking for holidays really rely on that experience of other travellers?
You open up here a very good point, but there's even another point to add to this. First, the content created by the tourists, which before they were just tourists and they come kind of clients and that's it, and now they become your sales agents.
Yeah.
So what we try is that they know all the time, making things easy. So we have had Wi-Fi areas for all the tourists in the different beaches, in the different places. So makes things easy. Let them know which is our handle, Twitter handle, our accounts with Instagram and all that. And as well, trying to use them as much as we can. So this is one side. So if you ask them, look, I'm going to use your kind of repost all their content, and they feel very proud of being, because they think they're creating brand. Yeah. And this, in the last study that they did, is the white book in social media in Spain. They said that more than 52% of the inspiration come from photos of your friends in Facebook. Yeah. So if this is true, which we believe in this study, we have to make them things easy. Yeah. It's always, which I travel a lot, I always feel funny that these studies will say that every hotel, in the hotel when you share content about the hotel, it also happens in the first 20 minutes that you're in the hotel. Probably because the room is clean and you haven't unpacked anything and all that. So in the first 20 minutes, you have to have Wi-Fi ready, you have to have everything ready because they're willing to share. And they're willing to share something new from you.
So for example, if you put a welcome gift in the room, they're likely to share that because it's the first experience.
Yes, and sometimes it's small details. You don't have to think about something expensive. It has to be something nice and original and all that. And so 2 weeks ago, I went to Singapore and they let me a teddy bear, say, take pictures in the city with the teddy bear and tag. I thought that was very cute. Yeah. I thought, well, why not? Yeah. So sometimes it's like small ideas that make things think. And the other point I was saying is that we use a lot of the locals as well. So sometimes we don't think about the locals, but the locals help as well to create brand. And we created one project which is called Instagram Your City, and every Saturday we create for the locals and nationals as well from the Catalonia, Barcelona area, and they come and they visit the city with a different eyes. So they have a typical breakfast, but then they have something that they haven't seen in their city. So we open a special house or private house or the Tower Bell in the Girona Cathedral, something that is impossible or that is very difficult access, you open up for them. And they help to create brand because they have their own followers and they feel part of the brand. So the brand, we have to think that it's not anymore belongs to the DMO, and it's not like, you have to use this Pantone and look this like. No, this is changed. Now the brand is universal and it's created by locals, it's created by tourists, and it's created by all the rest of the influencers. Yeah, so it's a great opportunity because you have so many content creators and so many brand ambassadors there if you use them correctly. Yes, and the question is that you have to think that you have to make things easy for them and very accessible, and then make them feel important. It's not like just do one repost and you forget. Make them feel important. If you have some people that shares content with you constantly, well, send them something. Yeah. And sometimes all my business cards that you've seen, they are all Instagrammers pictures. So I say, can I use it for my business cards? And they're so happy. Yeah. So it's not a question of price. It's a question of, they're happy to share,
giving
happy to feel
value, making them feel important. Yeah.
I always tell my team, make them feel like heroes. These are our heroes. So if they feel like a hero, then they will share everything, and they will be your brand ambassador. So this is what we want. Absolutely.
And obviously, travel by its nature, and trying to get people to read, and you're targeting people from different countries and trying to bring in people from different nationalities. Now that also brings in big challenges when you're creating content. How do you have to think about the different types of content you create and developing it, in that language for that audience?
This is a big challenge because first, our main clients or our main tourists used to come from Central Europe, like Germany, UK, Netherlands, and France, of course. And more or less we know what they want because we have a long tradition in tourism and all that. But now they come from long-haul distances. They come from Singapore, they come from Japan, they come from the States, and Russia as well. And as you've seen, and some of these, they require different things, and they require different content, and they're used to different kind of content. Sometimes you think, do they like that? Yes, they love it, you know? So it's not, you don't think that you have to make content for you have to make content for them. So sometimes the best thing is just to contact through them and to follow. That's why we try to contact now influencers and content creators from the different countries, so they know what they like. Even sometimes you think, this is very weird. How do you like the giants? Well, the Chinese love the giants, so why don't we make it things around them? So it seems like this. So we have to make sure that find the right content creator in each country to identify how they like it. And they see different things. And sometimes, the other day I was talking to an American guy and said, oh, but the butchers cut everything in slices here and they make small portions. I thought, well, this is normal. They were not in my country. So some things, even like small things in markets, make different and make a difference among other markets, in front of other markets. So it's good.
Yeah, so you really need to really spend the time to understand what it is that people are looking for out of a trip, what it is that's going to make them get excited as well, so that they'll then become these content creators that you want to use.
Yes, for instance, in our area, of course, Costa Brava is very well known, or in Europe for their beaches, sand and beaches. But you have to mean that long distance tourists don't come for sand and beaches, so we have to think, well, but maybe they go for Dali, or they go for the Jewish quarter in Girona, they go for nature. So we have to understand that this used to be our main asset for some of the tourists, and now it's different, completely different thing, the main thing. So we have to understand what they want, how they want it, and how they want to be treated as well. And we have to adapt as well, not only our service, but all our content, our digital strategy around it.
And how do you see this developing even further? Because this kind of user-generated content, the influencers, this is, a relatively new trend that's become more and more important, the social side of things. What do travel brands need to be thinking about ahead almost to make sure that they, keep up to date and grow with the industry?
I think that one of the most important things that is going to happen or is happening is like we're going to move to more than so far. We move in the outbound marketing, so it's just advertising and just shouting and trying to tell everybody that we are very nice, to the inbound marketing. So we're going to go for people that have an interest in us for some reason, for some specific topic, they're going to come to us. So we have to prepare the specific topics to become more interesting. So instead of shooting everything, all the bears at once, we have to go fishing now. We have to make a really nice hook, wait there, and they have to come fishing. So the strategy is completely different. We need to adapt everything. We need to adapt to the new, different ways to promote it. And this is going to be a trend for the DMOs and for all the brands. So of course, some of them, some of us the DMOs belong to public bodies, so we need to see how fast they are capable to react. But now it's a time for fast people and for fast movers, so we need to do it and do it well and fast.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about being there first and getting ahead of the game.
Yes.
Well, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you very much for sharing
Thank you very much.
Today.
Thank you very much to you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.